Hello. Thank you for joining for the practice instruction for Step 7 from the book The 7 Steps to Awakening. Step 7 is spend as much time as you can every day practicing the most rapid, effective, and direct method that brings the impostor self to its final end. And the method is described in the 7th step, quotes. Spend as much time as you can every day practicing the most rapid, effective, and direct method that brings the imposter self to its final end. And these quotes talk about the awareness, watching awareness. Michael has many recorded meditations on his YouTube channel, Michael Langford, that will guide you in doing awareness, watching awareness. In the book How to Practice the Teachings, there is an email that was received from V. Ganeshan to Michael Langford. V. Ganeshan is the grand nephew of Ramana Maharshi. And this is what he wrote. The path of knowledge is the highest and the purest teaching in the realm of spirituality. To remain ever as the non-dual self, Advaita, is the essence of a Jnana Marga, is the essence of the path of knowledge. Swami Vivekananda said, if taken as theory, Advaita, the teaching of non-duality, is a millstone around one's neck. But if put into practice, it is liberation itself. End quote. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi lived this truth every moment of his 54 years living at Arunachala. His last instructions to the 20 and odd old devotees who approached him for his final message, quote, put the teaching into practice, end quote. Books written on the path of knowledge are therefore only signposts. One has to practice it every moment of one's life. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, when asked how to progress in spiritual practice, replied, practice, practice, practice. Michael comments to the reader, some of you may be wondering if my final instructions will be, quote, put the teachings into practice, end quote, or, quote, practice, practice, practice. or something like that. No, those are not my final instructions. My final instructions are, quote, awaken the extreme, intense desire for bringing the impostor self and all illusion and suffering to a final end, end quote. He says, because when that extreme, intense desire for liberation is awakened, you will practice, and practice, and practice. Because when the extreme, intense desire for liberation is awakened, all your spiritual obstacles will disappear. When the extremely intense desire for freedom arises, your practice will succeed. However, if there is room on the tombstone, in addition to, quote, awaken the extreme intense desire for bringing the impostor self and all illusion and suffering to a final end, end quote, the following can be added. Quote, put the teachings into practice, end quote, and, quote, practice, practice, practice. Take care. With love, Michael. That was found in the book How to Practice the Teachings. Also in that book, he includes some awareness, watching awareness, practice tips. He says, here are some suggestions for how to make the practice of the awareness, watching awareness method more effective and more skillful. Number 1, relax as much as you can relax during your practice. 2, practice with as little effort as possible. 3, make your practice more like a relaxing break and not like work. 4, let go of thought. 5, relax thought. 6, let go of emotions. 7, let go of everything except your awareness. 8, relax your body. 9, relax your mind. 10, if you think an obstacle has arisen, let it go. 11, be open-minded to the possibility that you can let go of whatever obstacle appears. 12. Be open-minded to the possibility that you can let go of all that is limited or finite. Before the extremely intense desire for freedom arises, on some days you might have to use effort to force your imaginary self to set aside time for practice. That is because on some days you may not feel like practicing. You may not want to practice. You may not be motivated to practice. On some days your thoughts or feelings may give all sorts of reasons not to practice. However, after you have dropped all unnecessary activities and set time aside and actually begin the practice, that is when the above 12 suggestions should be used. His book, How to Practice the Teachings, has all kinds of guidance in it. It's well worth studying it and applying it. I also enjoy reading the book, How to Practice Self-Inquiry. For me, the awareness watching awareness brought me to a curiosity of what awareness was. And the book, How to Practice Self-Inquiry, are quotes of Sri Ramana Maharshi regarding the self-inquiry, who am I? What is consciousness? I could continue reading for hours to you out of How to Practice the Teaching, because everything in there is helpful. And I also have out the books, How to Practice Self-Inquiry, The Direct Means to Eternal Bliss, and Contemplating Who Am I. All of these books I highly recommend. And you know I've read from Experience Your Perfect Soul on other instruction audios. But as the 7th step has pointed us to spending as much time as we can every day in the practice, the reading of the books are simply a pointer to the practice. I spend part of my time reading from the sages, the gurus, the realized beings, and part of the day in meditation practicing, carrying that meditation with me as I walk through life. Allowing the awareness to always be in awareness as best I can. I see each of you in completion, knowing the truth of what you are, holding your awareness of awareness always as the forefront of truth. Allowing the intelligence from awareness of awareness to guide you each step of the way. You are already what you seek. I see you complete, no longer seeking but being. Free from the impostor self. Namaste.